everyone. Thanks for meeting here late in the afternoon. It's fun to be here again. I've talked about this project that we've been doing, creating tools for roadside rights-of-way management regarding Monarch Habitat. And I guess I'm giving you an update on that project. And some of this may be familiar to some of you. Something we can say about Monarch Habitat and roadways is that it's highly variable, and some of it can be really excellent. So this is a pretty cool site here, kind of a prairie remnant. It's also quite patchy. You know, that's sort of how milkweed grows. And we know it's also really affected by a lot of management that takes place in rights of way. So how do we know what we have where, and how do we know how our management is going? Those are the things that we're trying to help with this project. So we have a GIS landscape prioritization model. We have a rapid assessment technique that will seem very familiar to you, and a habitat calculator that goes with it. And then we've been pulling together some best management practice resources. I'm going to kind of go through these. So if you're thinking about trying to plant a site like this, beautiful restoration, you might be thinking, well, where should we place that? What are some of the factors that we might think about if in our system we've got the cash to maybe do this once this year or several times? And so that's kind of where this landscape prioritization model comes in. This was built on land cover data surrounding roads. It builds in kind of the premise that rights of way that are near natural spaces have high values for connectivity, and it's reading the potential for there to be milkweed and nectar in those spaces, and then it's kind of downloading for high traffic volume using roadside as a surrogate for that. Anyway, this is a free model. It's available if you request it, just by sending us an email. So if you want to fool around with this in your GIS, if you have to, basically some code that sets it up for you to work with. You also might be interested in knowing exactly where you have what in your right-of-ways. And so a little more detailed information about what's actually there. There's a bunch of milkweed in Oklahoma. And for this, we've got a rapid assessment technique that we've developed and field tested for a couple seasons. It's a zigzag survey. This is a lot like Tier 3 of the pollinator scorecard, not by coincidence, I guess. We were kind of working on this over the last couple years too. We do a milkweed tally. We do identify nectar plants best we can. You can have some unidentified, but when you do identify plants, you can learn a little bit about your native plants, your non-native, and also we like for there to be a weed component. This is as much for the manager as for anybody. You can define and customize your list of species that you're interested in, incompatibles, invasives. Of course, your noxious weeds, but you can go well beyond that. You can keep the list short, long, whatever you like. And then by identifying plants later on, you could also identify some as being really excellent for pollinators as that data becomes available. I would also say that you can look in your remote areas and your not recently mowed areas, and you can compare the two if you like. For an example, we did run this about 500 times. We did find a lot of milkweed, which is really exciting, and we did find a lot of monarch eggs and larvae in those milkweeds. So you can also add that optional component if you wish, if you want to just kind of see that your habitat is being used. And these did take us 9 minutes to 20 minutes each. 20 minutes when we're looking for monarchs. It takes a little bit of time to go through those plants, but highly successful. And then these data are in our Survey 123 app. The evaluator takes the data and computes scores automatically. This is really similar to the scorecard, so you're very familiar with this. And here's an example of the data we collected in Minnesota. The darker dots are higher quality scores. You know, you have your component scores for each dot, and then in the end you can make graphs. This is the habitat quality scores that we collected in Minnesota, so you can see that they're kind of a standard curve, and we also had similar curve in Oklahoma. Okay, so then say actually what you really want to do is manage your habitat well. We have some resources for that too. And so we worked with Xerxes on this milkweed identification, guys. It's really helpful if you can actually tell if you have milkweed, because you can actually recognize the plant. And there's a lot of these species, like 76 in the U.S., so we want to help people out with recognizing those. We also did a fact sheet about herbicides and weeds with Monarch, so we kind of pulled those three topics together. They're really of interest to a lot of people, and so we have that as well. And we wrote a really long set of frequently asked questions in roadways around monarchs and habitat, so you can check that out too. We have kind of a basic website right now. It is here, and you can't really read it so well. I will tell you, it's monarchjointventure.org, and then it's Roadside Habitat. And or you can just find it that way. You can contact me. We are hoping that we may have a little bit of extra funding to take these tools a little bit farther, maybe do some trainings with folks, integrate with the scorecard. Of course, that seems like an obvious thing to do. And also spruce up our website so it's a little fancier. But anyway, all of what I described is available to you. It's free just for the asking. So we encourage you to jump in and try things out if you like. Thank you.